Best Bites Forever.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Best Bites Forever. In this video, I'm making crab chilaquiles with poached eggs in them. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so now, and let's rock it out. Here I have a 4-quart sauce pot, and I filled it up with water up to the little screw things here, and I'm going to put this on the stove and bring it to a boil, and then let me show you what's going to go into this pot once it reaches a boil. What I have here is 1.3 pounds of tomatillos, so we're going to call it a pound, but I got these at the store. I didn't actually weigh them at the store, but you can see that some of them are really little and some of them are really big. So that's why I went ahead and I got 11, and I wasn't really worried about a measurement. I'm kind of making this up as I go, but this is going to be 1 pound of tomatillos. If you've never worked with tomatillos, that's okay. They're really, really easy to work with. Basically, what you're going to do is just peel them. So as you're peeling them, you're going to notice that they are super, super sticky underneath, and they definitely have to be rinsed. I have a little bag over here to the side. This is where all of my peelings are going to go, from my garlic and from my onion and everything else. It's like one of those veggie bags that, you know, you put all of your stuff in at the store, and as I peel them, they are going into my colander to get rinsed off. So I'm going to go ahead and peel these and rinse my hands off when I'm done, because they'll definitely make your hands sticky too. There's a little dead leaf in there. I'm also going to be adding 4 garlic cloves into this recipe, along with 1 nice size jalapeno pepper. All of these are going to go into that water when it starts boiling. Here are my tomatillos along with my jalapeno already. They're all rinsed off and ready to go into my pot. I'm going to go ahead and put my garlic cloves in there also, just so everything is together and I can just pour it straight into the water when I'm ready to go. Put these over to the side for now until your water is boiling. So here I have 1 onion. It's just a white onion. I'm going to go ahead and dice this up. This is going to be going into a saute with our tortillas. So I just want to peel it, of course, first. Again, I have my little bag here that I'm going to peel into. Now that I have these peeled, I'm going to slice them first in this direction, just to make them a little bit thinner that way. Then we're going to go this direction, kind of like French fries, and then this direction, which is going to give us a dice. So I'm going to put this on here and just kind of hold it down with my hand and slide my knife into it like so. I think I should probably sharpen my knife, but I'm not going to stop and do that right now. But I just want to go into that a couple of times, go this way a couple of times, and then go this way a couple of times. I usually, when I get to this little piece, I usually just kind of go over it like that, and then like that. So this is going to go over onto my plate, excuse me, my bowl that I have over here set to the side, and I will show you what we're going to do with it in just a second. It's going to be going into a saute pan. I'm going to go ahead and dice up this other half as well. Alright, and put those over to the side for now. This is the crab that I'm going to be using. It is a lump crab meat, wild caught. It's really nice. You can get it at Costco, and I'm sure that there are other ones that you can get as well, but I've used this before and I like it, so I'm using it again. See what it looks like in there? Nice, pretty pieces of crab, right? So this does have a safety seal inside. I'm gonna get back to you guys in a second. So this is what the crab meat looks like on the inside, and even though it is like already a shelled crab, you definitely need to pick through it, because I almost always find at least 1 shell. Sometimes I find some pretty good sized ones too. So basically what you're going to do is put a pile on one side, and it's easier for me to go this direction, and you just grab little pieces at a time and feel them like so. You don't have to wear gloves while you do this, but I like to, just because I don't want to have crab underneath my fingernails, but you have to be kind of extra careful if you are wearing gloves, because it is a little bit harder to feel the pieces of shell. So if you do choose to wear gloves, make sure that you're kind of pressing, like with your fingers, pressing down and feeling for any hard pieces. We definitely want to get all of those out. And if you've never picked through this kind of crab before, maybe the first time do it without gloves, just so that you can more easily feel what you're looking for. So I actually didn't find a shell, which I'm pretty surprised by, but this is what I have, and then I'm saving the rest of this. I'm going to make crab cakes in a day or so, so watch for that video. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to make them, because once you open this, it is only good for 48 hours. That's really, really important to know. This can't sit in your fridge until the expiration date, 48 hours once you open it. Take this crab meat and put it into the refrigerator covered with a piece of plastic until you're ready to use it at the end. You definitely want to use, you know, like safety features, safety precautions when you're making this. Seafood and warmth do not mix, okay? This goes in the fridge until you're ready to use it. So my water came to a boil. I don't want to steam up my camera lens, but I am going to go ahead and add all of these goodies straight into the water, and I'm going to return it to the stove. I'm going to know that it's done and ready to take off when my tomatillos and my jalapeno kind of start to get like a brown color to them. That's what's going to let me know. The other thing is the skin on the tomatillos is going to start to peel. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these in there. Ooh, I filled my pan up pretty good. These are going back onto the stove, and it takes like 5 to 7 minutes. So you can kind of see my setup here. I have my pan. I have some water back there that I'm going to poach eggs in. Here my little veggies are boiling, and in this pan right here, I'm going to add like that much oil. I don't know, that was probably too much. We're going for about 1/4 cup, but I'm just going to go with it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my onions into my pan here. Got a nice little sizzle. Now, normally I would tell you to add some kosher salt and some pepper over top of these, but we're going to be adding the salt later on. This recipe is a little bit different. And by the way, if I didn't already mention this, I learned how to make this from my friend Teresa, and you can actually watch the video of her teaching me how to make this if you would like to. But it's like the original, more traditional version, and I'm just kind of, you know, adding in the crab, and I have a few other little goodies that we're going to put in there. It's going to make it really over the top, take it to another level delicious, even though the original is pretty incredible on its own. Over here you can see my tomatillos are getting that color that I told you about. You see how they're kind of getting like a brownish color to them? So that's letting me know that it's time to take them out, and obviously these little guys are cooking before the bigger ones, so I'm just going to start with the littler ones, and I'm going to leave that big dude in there for a couple of minutes until he's ready to come out. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pull the garlic out of there too. And the recipe that Teresa showed me, there was only 1 clove of garlic and 4 tomatillos. Now, I am making a bit bigger of a recipe today, but let me tell you, hers was absolutely delicious. The reason I decided to up the garlic in this recipe is because garlic and crab are friends, and I know that it's going to be delicious with a little bit more of a garlicky flavor. You know, I'm going to give that just another minute or so along with the jalapeno. I'm going to go ahead and let my onions cook just a couple of minutes longer before I add my tortillas. And you can see my little other tomatillo and jalapeno in there. I'm just going to give them another minute or two, and again, just kind of caramelize these a bit as well. Here we are back at my blender, and I have 1.5 cups of the liquid that these were cooking in. It has a lot of flavor to it, so that is why I'm using that. And I'm also going to add in like 1.5 spoons, kind of like heaping spoons of this stuff right here. It's very similar to like bouillon. You can see what's in here. It's like a powder. So see my big giant spoon? That's going in there. And then I'm going to do about half of that. So maybe that much is going to go in as well. You know what? I'm going to do it twice. I'm going to do that much too. You can always add a little bit more, but you know, keep in mind you can't take it out once it's in there. So I'm going to put the lid on this and blend it up. Okay, so this deliciousness is ready to go. It's really hot in there. Do be careful. You see the steam coming out. I pureed it on, well, I did puree and liquefy, so everything in there is pretty much chopped up. I'm just going to let this chill here for a minute while I add my tortillas over into our onions. So I'm about to cut up my tortillas, and I just wanted to show you that is how thick my stack is. I'm going to just kind of cut it into eighths, and then we're going to add it into here. So I just want to give my onions a nice little stir here. You can see they're starting to get just a little bit of color on them. They have a kind of translucency going to them. They're just perfect and ready to go ahead and do this. These just kind of go in all at once. I cut them just like chips, and then we're going to stir them in. You want to get them nice and kind of coated in that delicious oil that you have going on in there, and the onions. They're definitely going to break apart as you go, but that's okay. You're not really even going to see them, so it's not going to mess up your presentation or anything, so don't worry about that. If you like your tortillas to be soft inside of your chilaquiles, then you want to do, I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes. If you're looking for them to have a little bit more of a texture to them, then you're going to go like 6 to 7 minutes. Just make sure that you're scraping at the bottom so that nothing is sticking. You really can't burn, well, I'm not going to say you can't burn these, but you know, I'm on number 5, so that's like right at medium, and they're pretty safe at this point. You just want to, like I said, make sure you're stirring, because see, I have a little bit of stickage on the bottom, but it's okay. It's going to be just fine when we add in our liquid. Okay, so these have been cooking for maybe 4 minutes, and you can see that they're kind of taking on like a golden color, and that is letting me know that I'm ready to add our tomatillo salsa into here. So let's go ahead and do it. Yeah. So I'm straining this through my colander. I did this the second time I ever made it. I strained it through like a mesh strainer, and it ended up really liquidy because it didn't let the pulp of like the tomatillo and stuff go through. So you want to use a colander, not like a super fine mesh strainer or anything. So most of, you can see like what's left in there, most of what I pureed went into this dish. So I just need to move this out of the way, and I'm going to let this cook for just a couple of minutes. I also want to go ahead and just kind of, since I added my liquid, I'm going to kind of like get in there and go across the bottom of my pan and kind of get those little bits that were sticking earlier. I'm not incredibly worried about it, but I do want to get them out of there. I'm just going to let this reduce for, I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes, because I definitely have probably about twice as much liquid as I need in there. I'm good with it. I really, really love this sauce, guys. I'm cool with it being saucy, but I do think I went a little over on the sauce. Maybe I should have put a little more tortilla chips, but I think if I reduce it, it's going to be totally sexy, so I'm cool here. Also, while I have this nice heat going, you can see that I'm getting like a nice little simmer going in here. I'm going to go ahead and add in my crab meat, because obviously this needs to be heated through. It is already cooked, so you don't have to like worry about it cooking, but you do want it to be warm when you serve the dish. So I'm just going to kind of put that in there like so. I'm not going to do any more stirring, but I do want to kind of like poke that around and make it even a little bit. I always try to go edge to edge, because you don't want people who are dipping from the outside not to get any crab, right? So do try to make that kind of even. That is looking really good to me. Perfect. So as I was doing this, I kind of came to a decision, guys, which is that I'm going to poach the eggs and the sauce. So I'm just going to let an egg at a time fall. I broke one. See that? That's okay. No big thing. We're going to put that, drop that in my sink. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of like gently, ever so gently, spoon some liquid. Spoon some liquid. You can see that this is thickened up considerably. Oh my goodness, it's going to be amazing too. I still have to add the cheese onto this, so the cheese is going to get all melty. These yolks are going to be pretty raw, which is fine with me. I know if you don't like yours like super kind of raw like that, you can definitely poach them or fry them or whatever that you want to do, but these eggs actually came from my chickens that I have in my backyard, so I know that they don't have, you know, like salmonella or anything like that. If you're gonna leave them kind of poached and like more of an over easy, then you know you definitely want to make sure you're using a good resource for your eggs. But these are going to be gorgeous here in just a couple of minutes, and I'm going to turn off my poaching liquid that I started because I'm not using it. So I'm just going to put a lid on this for maybe a minute. It's going to make those gorgeous and nice and cooked inside. Alright, let's see what we have going on in here. Ooh, looking good, looking good. I'm going to go ahead and cheese it up. I'm just going to kind of cheese around the eggs. So I have two different kinds. I have Havarti, which I'm going to kind of randomly place. I might have too much Havarti. Can you have too much Havarti? I don't know. Leave it in the comments. I don't know if you can have too much cheese in general. We'll just use that much though for now. I'm also going to give it some mozzarella. Want that nice kind of stringy cheese action, but you know what? I don't really want to cover my egg yolks necessarily because I think they're going to look really good as far as presentation. So I'm just going to kind of work around those dudes a little bit. I think I'm going to save that Havarti. Yes, I know, I just said you can never have too much Havarti, but we got to make it look pretty too, guys. Alright, so I'm going to get that all set up like so. Yep, put my fingers right in there. It's definitely hot. And I'm going to put my lid back on. I have my lime setting here over to the side because I didn't want to forget to tell you guys that once I get all this nice and melted, I'm going to hit it up with some lime juice. You can even do some zest if you wanted to in the middle just to kind of make it pretty. Maybe some, I don't know, pickled jalapenos on there if you wanted to. You know, you can garnish it out however you want to. By the way, I do have this set on low at this point because I don't want to burn anything to the bottom. We definitely don't want to mess up this masterpiece, right? Want to take a little peek and see where we are, especially because honestly guys, I have people coming over, so I'm kind of looking at this. I'm going to tell you that if you're looking at the eggs and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, my stuff is getting too hot on the bottom and it's not doing it on top, you can put this under the broiler for like 30 seconds to a minute and it's going to melt all of this cheese. It's going to cook up those eggs and everything's going to be glorious. But if it is going well for you and your pan happens to have the perfect depth and you have the perfect heat and all that stuff and these are poaching, great, good for you. I'm going to go ahead and put my lid back on and let it poach for like another minute or two, and then I'm going to serve it up. So I stuck a spoon in and this totally like broke an egg yolk. Alright, so let's dig into this. Look at my little bear claw. Isn't it cute? I'll leave a link, you guys. They're super cute. So I have a little bit of crab meat right there. I'm going to kind of try to... Oh, look at that. Do you see the egg yolk running in there? That is happiness. Get the plate close. Oh my goodness. Seriously? If you've never had chilaquiles, I know, you guys, this is one of my favorite Mexican foods, and I definitely made mine a little bit extra saucy, but you can see it reduced down, and all that's going to do is concentrate the flavors and make them all amazing. So this is what it's looking like. I'm going to kind of, ooh, you see that egg yolk? Can you see the egg yolk right there? Not broken and all perfect. Look, it wants to be in my picture. Oh, we're going to hit this with some lime. I almost forgot. So I definitely want to hit up this guy because I already plated him over here. I'm going to go all the way around the pan though. I'm probably going to take 2 or 3 pieces, or maybe I'll just serve the lime over on the side, but definitely give it that little touch. That is the love, and there it is, you guys. Like, subscribe, do all those awesome things. Enjoy your chilaquiles, and I'll see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.
BestBitesForever.com